It all started with a dream, a beautiful dream of mankind reaching out into the solar system. A dream of collaboration and prosperity for all humans. Now, the dream has turned into a nightmare. It has turned into war. Chapter 1. Artemis, tensions rise. In the wake of the historic 2025 Artemis 2 Lunar Mission, mankind started work establishing the first permanent lunar bases. On Earth, geopolitical tensions began to mount as four major powers vied for control and the abundant natural resources of the Moon. The United States, having taken the lead in independent lunar colonization, sought to transfer a dominance over the burgeoning lunar economy. With the lunar base foothold, Fort Armstrong, situated in the Sea of Tranquility, the United States was first out in establishing a national conglomerate of major American aerospace companies. The biggest of these, Moon Core Energy, was to oversee lunar operations and resource extraction. Foremost, the invaluable helium-3, the key to clean nuclear power. This move, however, did not sit well with the global rivals. Russia, once a space superpower, had suffered greatly due to a prolonged geopolitically isolated situation on Earth and fallen behind in lunar exploration. Desperate to regain their status, they scrambled their nation's finest scientists and activated all the might of the renowned espionage engine, with dubious character ready to sacrifice anything for the Kremlin power hub. They managed to secure a highly valuable piece of lunar territory near the South Pole, a region rich in water ice, which was a strategically important resource for sustaining lunar operations. China, motivated by its rapidly growing economy and immense demand for lunar resources, swiftly followed suit. The Chinese Lunar Development Authority was formed and they set up their own lunar bases to rival the Americans. The moon's surface quickly became a complex web of American and Chinese installations, with both nations jealously guarding their territories. Meanwhile, the European Union, facing increasing pressure from its member states, founded the Lunar Sustainability Initiative. Their focus was on developing eco-friendly lunar technologies and sustainable practices, emphasizing responsible resource management and environmental stewardship. They established a series of research outposts to explore the moon's unique features and ecology. As the moon's surface became increasingly crowded, tensions escalated into the brink of conflict. Skirmishes and disputes over resource rights were common, with each power attempting to expand its influence and control. Chapter 2. The Collapse of the United Nations, the Road to War. As lunar colonies grew and prospered, the disparity between spacefaring nations and those confined to Earth became stark. The global balance of power shifted dramatically. Countries capable of space travel enjoyed unprecedented economic and technological growth, while those unable to venture beyond Earth fell behind. The newly developed clean fusion energy derived from helium-3 gave limitless capacity to a space industry dominated by the select few able to harvest the moon for the priceless isotope. In early 2028, the United Nations faced a critical turning point. The annual General Assembly meeting was overshadowed by the absence of the most influential nations. Instead, the representatives were attending a clandestine summit at Lunar Concordia, the newly constructed lunar orbital base, discussing the formation of a new governing body that could better address the challenges and opportunities of the space age. By late 2028, the transformation was complete. The United Nations was formally dissolved, and the Council of Lunar Nations, the CLN, was established. The CLN was headquartered in a newly inaugurated space station, Lunar Concordia, orbiting the moon, symbolizing the dawn of a new era. This council consisted of the major spacefaring nations, the United States, China, Russia, and the European Union, as well as emerging space powers like Japan and India, who had made significant strides in their space programs. Chapter 3: A New Era of Fragile Peace. The establishment of the CLN marked the beginning of a new era. While the competition among nations for dominance in space continued, the Council's efforts fostered a fragile peace. The seasoned Chinese diplomat Li Xiuheng was appointed by the CLN to carefully negotiate the document later known as the Lunar Accords. On the 8th of May 2032, the Lunar Accords were formally signed by all representative nations at the CLN, dealing efficiently with equal chartering of lunar mining operation and resource allotments, while also paving the way for potential future joint missions to Mars, cooperative asteroid mining ventures, and collaborative scientific research projects. In this delicate balance of power and ambition, the Council of Lunar Nations stood as a beacon of hope, guiding humanity through the uncharted territories of the final frontier, ensuring that the pursuit of celestial riches did not come at the cost of terrestrial harmony. However, the tension was never far from the surface. The race for supremacy in space remained tense, and the Council's ability to mediate and maintain peace was constantly tested. The formal meetings of the CLN slowly started to get an underlying tone of suspicion, accusations, and straight-up espionage. It all ended in the tragic death of the man who had forged the road to peace, the murder of Li Xiuheng. Chapter 4: The Murder of Li Xiuheng. In the heart of downtown Lausanne, Switzerland, on a fateful evening at the renowned Michelin-starred restaurant Le Bohème, tragedy struck with a ferocity that shattered the fragile peace of the cosmic theatre. Seated at his regular corner table, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight, Li Xiuheng, the esteemed Chinese representative to the Council of Lunar Nations, and his teenage son, Li Wei, dined together, their conversation laced with the promise of a brighter cosmic future. Yet, as they savored their meal, a sinister fate awaited the unsuspecting diplomat. Suddenly, without warning, tragedy struck with a swift and merciless hand. As Li Xiuheng and his son indulged in their meal, a deadly poison mixed into their food began its lethal embrace, ensnaring them in a web of darkness and pain. In a horrifying turn of events, the waiter, entrusted with their care, rushed to their table at the clear notion that something was very wrong. Moments later, the father of the Lunar Accords and his beloved son lay dead on the restaurant floor, choked in their own sweat, vomit, and blood. Forensic reports carried out by the Chinese embassy in Zurich, Switzerland, would clearly indicate the presence of a primitive neurotoxin, ZAR-33, known for excruciatingly painful death through multiple organ failures. Chapter 5: The Final Spark, Outbreak of the First Lunar War. In the wake of the tragic death of Li Xiuheng and his son, suspicions began to mount, casting a shadow over the circumstances surrounding their untimely demise. Following the forensics report documenting the reasons for death being a powerful neurotoxin, Chinese intelligence agencies launched a thorough investigation, uncovering a complex money trail leading from the Bahamas to a known Albanian mafia group specializing in paid political murders. Further investigation into the Bahamas holding companies uncovered a dark connection between the Albanian mafia and powerful financial elites within the American right-wing Republican radicals, desperate to restore US industrial dominance fueled by the rich lunar deposits of helium-3. As Chinese suspicions of American treachery grew, whispers of a sinister conspiracy began to circulate. suggesting a calculated plot to shatter the fragile peace on the cosmic stage. With their nation's honor hanging by a thread, China crafted a fierce retaliatory strike that would ignite the flames of war. On Monday the 28th of January, 2036, as the dawn of the Chinese New Year broke, Chinese lunar forces stormed into the US lunar territory at the Sea of Tranquility. In a crushing blow, they obliterated the unprepared USSF defenses in the brutal Battle of Blue Ridge. In a frantic scramble, diplomats from the European Union and Russia renounced the Lunar Accords, vowing to unleash their military might against any intruder on the lunar domains. With diplomacy in shambles and the final thread of peace severed, the First Lunar War had begun. Chapter 6. Peace Treaty of 2043. The lunar conflict raged for years, with no major power gaining the upper hand. The threat of nuclear war on Earth, fueled by escalating tensions, cast a dark shadow over humanity. In 2043, driven by the fear of total annihilation, world leaders convened an emergency summit in Toronto. The Peace Treaty of Toronto emerged from this desperation, freezing the conflict on the Moon and reinstating the authority of the Council of Lunar Nations. Under the treaty, the United States, China, Russia, and the European Union agreed to a ceasefire, declaring the Moon a neutral zone with strict limits on military presence. Though it seemed peace had been achieved, in truth, it was merely a de facto ceasefire. Chapter 7. The Murder of Errol Tusk. Errol Tusk, a larger-than-life US billionaire and pivotal co-investor in Moon Core Energy, had long been a dominating force in space exploration. As the visionary behind Frontier X, the leading entity in Mars colonization, Tusk's relentless ambition and sharp business acumen established him as a charismatic titan in the industry. His dedication to Mars colonization rallied support from nations, investors, and scientists worldwide, propelling Frontier X to the forefront of the race to conquer the Red Planet. With operations powered by Moon Core Energy's abundant clean nuclear resources. But the world was stunned when on the 3rd of February, 2046, Tusk was found dead in his opulent Los Angeles mansion under mysterious circumstances. Initial investigations were baffling, but a chilling truth soon emerged. Traces of a rare poison linked to old KGB technology pointed to a well-orchestrated assassination. International tensions soared between Washington and Moscow, as evidence implicated Russian special agents seemingly intent on eliminating Tusk to gain the upper hand in the race for Martian resources. His murder sent shockwaves through the space community, disrupting a visionary legacy and the future of interplanetary expansion. Chapter 8. Chinese Meddling. The murder of Errol Tusk, a revered US-based visionary, sent shockwaves through the cosmos, sparking an international crisis when the CIA linked the crime to a KGB-style poison. As tensions soared, the fragile peace finally shattered, igniting the Second Lunar War. The United States Space Force covertly prepared for a surprise strike against the Russian lunar stronghold, the L1 base in Schrödinger's crater. However, the Russian Federal Space Agency, Roscosmos, had obtained vital lunar intel from Chinese surveillance, shared with the Russians during a diplomatic dinner in Cape Town in honor of Li Shuheng. This information was quickly beamed on a secured line to Colonel Viktor Ivanov, the commander of the Russian Space Forces at the L1 base, leading to an immediate mobilization of all Roscosmos forces on the Moon to defend the motherland's strategic bastion in the water-rich lunar South Pole. Chapter 9. the Battle of Schrödinger's Crater. On the 4th of July 2046, the USSF launched its intended surprise assault on the Russian L1 base in Schrödinger's crater. The brave US Astro Marines would run straight into a hailstorm of Iskander tactical missiles, and Russian Cosmos Marines frenzied and strung out on the designer drug, Crocodile. This lethal trap, devised by the Chinese diplomats to counter the US expansion, would turn the lunar surface into a battlefield of carnage and chaos. At the forefront of the Russian defense stood Colonel Viktor, the Ice Bear Ivanov, a legendary figure feared and revered in equal measure for his unmatched prowess in combat and his indomitable spirit. Mounted atop his armored walker, a hulking behemoth of steel and firepower, the Ice Bear unleashed a blizzard of death and destruction upon the assaulting Americans. But amidst the chaos and carnage, a beacon of American resolve emerged in the form of former female MMA champion, Commander Sarah Starhammer Mitchell, a fearless warrior with a heart of steel and unyielding determination. After the initial push on the Russian position was thwarted by the devastating firepower of the Iskander missile system, Commander Starhammer led to a final desperate charge against the Russian defenses. Standing out at the forefront of the wavering US line, Sarah pushed the intercom button and cried out,
"For Armstrong, for America, and for our legacy!"
and rallied her troops with a collective cry of defiance, her courage shining bright even as the darkness closed in around her. Pushing forward through the piles of corpses and shattered equipment, the remaining host of Astro Marines would almost drive the charge home. Yet, in the crucible of battle, fate would not be kind to Starhammer, as yet a Russian missile found its mark, tearing through the lunar dust to strike her down with a savage blow. Bloodied and battered, Starhammer waved her arms continuously, calling for a renewed charge, as her fellow Astro Marines carried her off to a secure position and medical care while the battle continued to rage around her. In the end, the Battle of the Schrödinger Crater would be remembered as a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, a saga of heroism and sacrifice where warriors clashed beneath the cosmic skies in a struggle for supremacy that would echo through the annals of history for generations to come, and be the start of what would be the Second Lunar War.